What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to my first reaction video. My first reaction video is going to be from Rock Culture Wrestling, and it's going to be legendary WrestleMania matches nobody wanted.
WrestleMania is the show of all shows. Even people that don't watch WWE will have a quick look when Mania rolls around. And if you're into your moments, this is the time. Commentary tells us that constantly. As of me speaking, we've had 40 of these, which actually isn't that many, and yet we have still had plenty of matches that make you go, what? So let's try and make sense of these though, for I am Simon Miller. This is 10 WrestleMania matches nobody wanted. Number 10, The Big Show versus Akibono. I am all up for new ideas in wrestling. And if you want to make an elephant the champion, do it. Just push Nelly hard, damn it. That's all I ask. At Mania 21, maybe we went too far with this though. WWE brought in sumo wrestling great Akibono to have a legit sumo fight with The Big Show. I mean, why? Do not forget this comes between Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle and John Cena versus JBL. I do understand trying to broaden your appeal, but if somebody tuned in for this, well, they're just going to tune out again after, aren't they? The word has always been this was some sort of punishment on Paul White for various behind-the-scenes issues. I can think of worse things to do. I mean, he was still competing with the legend of their sport. I do believe it was legit as well because Akibono just smashed through this guy and it was over incredibly fast. Then, of course, we had the Big Show's backside being mean years later. Who didn't want that? So it's just weird, really, and again, it's nice to do different things. I don't think this was it. Number 9, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20. Well, we all did want it at some point. When Goldberg and Lesnar fell out during the Royal Rumble, I think people were pumped. Then we learned about all the other news. If you do not know, this was during Brock's first WWE run, and yeah, he was fed up with the nonsense and the travel schedule, so he quit. Not good. He was meant to be our new top star. By this point, the fight between the pair was already booked,
Yes,
so
sir.
WWE just changed the finish. That wasn't ideal either. Bill had only signed a one-year deal, and that ended after WrestleMania 20. Oh dear. Somebody, most likely the company, ensured this leaked out to the public too, meaning during their match, thousands of people booed the hell out of both of these dudes. How dare you leave us? The rumor has always been that Shane McMahon is also in the crowd, geeing them all on, and thank goodness Steve Austin is the special guest referee. He does have the time of his life because he finds it all so funny. It also allows the fast to end with some stunners, so most of the audience was happy, but yeah, if wrestling was all about the correct reaction, nobody wanted this. It turned out to be a little bit of a mess. Number 8, The Undertaker versus A-Train and The Big Show at WrestleMania 19.
This
was
match
meant
is
to be a proper
underrated.
tag
This match is not that bad.
Furthermore, we were using The Undertaker's famous Mania spot to try and help get Nathan Jones over. That's how much WWE wanted this. Sadly, because he was massive, we pushed him way too fast and he had to pull out, which left us with this mad fight instead. Albert and The Big Show facing off against the Dead Man.
Very
Now,
underrated
you do get
Undertaker WrestleMania
The
match.
Ringers Limp Bizkit played his theme, so that will be remembered. But I'm not sure anybody wanted this when it came to the streak. It lacked the usual magic. It even ends ridiculously because Nathan does turn up, but the whole thing feels like it should be on Raw. Not sure there was any proper reason why Show and the Prince were together either, mostly because someone told them that they were now. I guess that's why this sort of has been lost to the passages of time. That's just a bit weird. Number 7, Steve Austin versus Scott Hall. I love both these guys. They both left their mark on the industry, but man, their WrestleMania clash just wasn't it. Wrong place, wrong time. I mean, you had The Rock and Hulk Hogan on this card, which overshadowed everything, and that also shone a bigger
But we
spotlight
did get
onto
that
Austin.
good stunner
He's
cell.
WWE's most giant of stars. Why on earth was he in a random fight halfway through the event? It's no wonder he was about to get really fatigued with the creative process. You also had Kevin Nash on the outside, and it felt like we could do more with him, and this goes less than 12 minutes. I mean, the year before, Steve was main eventing the entire thing. And I'm not saying that Hall versus Austin isn't deserving of a feud, but the whole thing feels rushed, and as such, the fans struggled to accept it. There were too many questions. When you remember that Mania 19 was Stone Cold's Swan Song 2, we did not take advantage of this. We did not take advantage at all. Number 6, Brock Lesnar versus Omos at WrestleMania 39. Well, I will push back on this one because I wanted to see it. I have been outvoted here though, so we'll just move on. For me, why not have two massive men smash in the ring, especially when we've got 2 nights to fill? The only issue for me was that Omos should have won. That's right, I said it and I mean it. I think a lot of the frustration came from all the build because Brock went through 2 other potentials before we landed here. We teased something with Bray Wyatt which had been super interesting, and then we went to Bobby Lashley. From nowhere, Omos was just around. That was honestly the build. Lesnar did sell for this guy too, but ultimately it was a huge F5 1-2-3 after a short scrap. But honestly, what else was there to do with Brock at this time?
Back.
Another Roman
I'll let
Reigns
the video
match?
play by
I'm
back.
good, thank you. Around this point, I think we'd done 78 of them. So sure, there was nothing to write home about here and nobody talks about it much, but as somewhat of a bit of fun over a weekend card, thought it was perfectly fine. But hey ho, I guess others didn't really want it. Number 5, Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler at WrestleMania 27. Let me make something very clear. Michael Cole is brilliant at his job, so much so he also knew what it took to become a wonderful heel. Genuinely. That coal mine, brilliant. The issue back in 2011 is that he was our lead WWE announcer, so having him being ass constantly got a bit tiring. His feud with commentary partner Jerry Lawler was awesome a lot. All you need to do is look at Steve Austin as a special guest referee during this to get a facial expression reaction we were all feeling. And with entrances, this went over 20 minutes. What were we doing? And I don't mind goofy stuff like this at all, but it just felt out of place at WrestleMania. And the fact Jack Swagger was thrown in for no reason too.
Yeah, this match is
get a proper finish.
shit.
I think this mostly irked individuals because Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan was on the pre-show, and yeah, I get it. If this had been 5 minutes, nobody would have minded, just to ensure the heel gets their ass kicked. But nope, really when you do break it down, we went entirely the other way. Number 4, Braun Strowman versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 36. This was not their fault. WrestleMania 36 in general is a show you do not want to go back to. It's utterly miserable. This is because the world had been shut down thanks to the pandemic, so all of WWE's plans were in a state of flux. We'd only given Goldberg the world title because Vince McMahon wanted to see Bill versus Roman Reigns at the show of shows, and then Roman had to go away to protect his health. You're damn right. What's more important than that? It meant that every step of the way things were changing, including this. We just moved Braun Strowman into the mix and had him win the WWE Championship. That wasn't fair on Strowman either. There was no way to win a title. That's the reason it's not talked about much, and it's just honestly the whole shebang. They got dragged into the mire, but yeah. It's not great, but there's
I don't
no way
remember that title reign, to be honest.
2 big dudes smashing into each other in front of no fans. I'm good, but thank you anyway. Number 3, Vince McMahon versus Pat McAfee at WrestleMania 38. It is harder to talk about this now for obvious reasons, but I will say this. If Vince McMahon versus Pat McAfee had been promoted beforehand, no way people would have kicked off. Given it did come out of nowhere, however, and Steve Austin got involved, I don't know, man. It was sort of entertaining. It was also crazy because we just had Pat versus Austin Theory when boom, wham,
No,
bang,
good.
McMahon
Austin
was here
stunned
and
the
he got into
cell
an official fight.
from
It's also
Theory.
one of the worst matches ever, but somehow that makes it fun. And that stone cold stunner at the end. My gosh, not even Austin could hide it. He burst out laughing. This was an absolute farce. Once again, I do understand it though, because if WWE is selling Mania as its ultimate location, no way is the entire fan base gonna want this. It's like we all took a bunch of drugs and saw what we wanted to see, or something. Still can't believe this happened. I think it's genuinely insane. Number 2, Bart Gunn versus Butterbean at WrestleMania 15. This one got worse with hindsight. I mean, it's awful. In case you don't know, Bart Gunn won the Brawl for All tournament in 1998, which was a shoot fight competition, but he wasn't meant to. Don't overthink it. It doesn't make sense. It was really dumb. Because Gunn had entered himself into this position, however, and WWE didn't want to push him, the alternative to that was a punishment. I am not kidding. This meant we did put him in the ring with Butterbean, and sure, he was somewhat of a gimmick boxer, but he was still a professional. The man sparked out Bart in seconds, and it was horrible. It honestly looked like Gunn had died. The fact this went down at Mania somehow made it worse too. Who wants to see this sort of treatment on a show like this? Bart only agreed to be in the damn thing because he wanted to be a good company guy. And they talk about being treated quite unfairly. Number 1, Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania.
Yeah, no one wanted this match.
I want to make this clear right away. This was not Baron Corbin's fault. Nobody wanted Brock Lesnar to defeat The Undertaker either for the streak, but we got the most out of that to say the least. With Corbin, man, we didn't give him a thing. It sounded like this was Vince McMahon being Vince McMahon because Kurt Angle had asked for John Cena, and yeah, This would have brought his career full circle, but Vince refused, so gave the spot to Baron instead. Now, personally, I think Kurt was one of those stars that could have retired with a win, but if you're going to have him lose, go all the way, man. Let Corbin talk about it for years, make an entire run out of it. He wasn't allowed that, and that sort of meant Angle had just been thrown to the wayside, so everybody looked upon this sadly. It was just bad management, bad booking, people not thinking about long-term stories. It's not good though, and a huge mistake by the company. Everybody could have benefited here, and instead, nobody did. Know of any other matches that nobody wanted to see at WrestleMania? Please let me know in the comments below before you like the video, share the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You can also
Well, there you go, guys. There's my first reaction video. Top 10 WrestleMania matches nobody wanted by What Culture Wrestling, and I hope you liked the reaction. I'm sorry, I'm kind of new to all this. I'm sorry if the vibes were down. It is freaking 5 o'clock in the morning where I am, so yeah, everyone in the house is still asleep. So probably the next one I'll probably do through the day, and it'll be more uplifting. And yeah, peace.